Welcome to the NCAA Baseball Regionals presented by Capital One. The Eugene Regional. It has a very familiar feel for college baseball fans here in the Pacific Northwest. 3 former Pac-12 teams and 2 future ones. The Washington State Cougars and the Beavers of Oregon State will be in the new Pac-12 next year. It's our first game here in Eugene. Coming up later, the host Oregon Ducks meet the Yale Bulldogs from the Ivy League. It's double elimination. Winner of this regional advances to the Super Regionals next week. Hi again, everybody. Welcome to PK Park here in Eugene alongside former Rice National Champion David Aardsma. I'm Clay Matvick. Great to have you with us here. And David, this is the past, present, and future of the Pac-12 on display this weekend.
How exciting is this? We get Oregon State, Washington State, Oregon, all with that massive rivalry coming from the Pac-12, going to the Pac-12 next year. 74 seasons combined of baseball against each other.
Well, if defense and pitching wins championships, the Beavers of Oregon State in pretty good shape. Of course, they were in Omaha last year, could very well be again.
You know, without a doubt, second in the nation in ERA, second in all of defense. They can pitch with everybody, and they can hit with anybody.
Meanwhile, the Cougars in their first national tournament in 16 years, the champions from the Mountain West, 1 year after finishing last in that conference.
Yes, last year, picked to be second to last this year, scored 33 runs in the conference championship tournament. They can swing it with any team in the country.
So day 1 of the Eugene Regional. Game 1 has Washington State and Oregon State. 459th meeting between these two teams that split 2 games back in April. Much more on the line this time as we're on the road to Omaha. Time to get it started here at PK Park in Eugene, Oregon. Day one of the Eugene Regional. Washington State champions from the Mountain West, ready to come to the plate for the first time. They're going to be leading it off with Trevor Smith, their center fielder. Max Hartman in the 3-hole, a .338 hitter with a .563 slugging percentage. Also has 18 stolen bases. This is an offense that certainly has had success throughout the year.
Yes, they can hit with anybody. They can score a lot of runs. Obviously, the Mountain West Conference is going to lead it to some runs. So they're going to be able to score with anybody. Now, how can Oregon State hold them down and keep them to not scoring 10, 13 runs again?
Well, it'll be up to Ethan Kleinschmidt, junior left-hander, pitched in the College World Series and for the Collegiate National Team last year. Became the Friday night starter after Dax Whitney went out for the year about a month ago. 9-2 record with an ERA well under 4.
You know, the big thing we talk about with him is being a professional. Going out there pitching, slowing the game down to his pace. He is preparing for playing in Major League Baseball, and you're going to see that on display today.
So we're ready to go. A little on the cool side as we get ready for the first pitch here in Eugene. Crowd still filing in. Both of these games on day one are going to be well attended. We expect a sellout for the next one. And the first pitch to Trevor Smith is a ball. Trevor Smith, switch hitting freshman from San Diego. He's been their leadoff hitter all year. This is a team, David, with no stars, you would say. It's just a gritty bunch of ball players for Washington State.
Gritty bunch of ball players, and they can score runs in a lot of different ways. You're going to see that one thing from Yale later today in game 2. But they're a team that can score runs a lot of different ways, a lot of triples, a lot of doubles, home runs. And so they are going to put the bat on the ball, and you're going to see that today.
A 3-ball count here for Trevor Smith to start the day. He has proven to be a tough out. And the 3-0 from Kleinschmidt. And ball 4, a 4-pitch walk to Smith. And so he's aboard for Gavin Roy. Ethan Kleinschmidt having to deal with a base runner here to start, as Smith is on for Roy, the senior from Sudbury, Ontario. .372 hitter, a couple of home runs, and 42 runs batted in for Roy. He'll be at second base for the Cougars today. 17th NCAA tournament for Washington State, their first since 2010. But popped up, and there is Craig, the first baseman, to make the catch. Boy, that's a gift out for Oregon State as Gavin Roy trying to advance the base runner. He pops it up to Jacob Craig.
Those are those little mistakes that you can't make in games like this. You're going to get a good pitch to put down, and he just reaches for it a little too much, pops it up. Craig's all over it.
So failed sacrifice. And there's one out for Max Hartman. Another Canadian. He's in right field today as Smith dives back to the bag.
Those are outs you don't want to give away. But as you can see already, Washington State is a team that's going to do everything they can to get a guy on, get him over. And even with they can swing the bat with anybody, they're still trying to bunt, trying to move him in to second base.
Saw the numbers for Hartman: .338, 7 homers, 46 runs batted in. First team All Mountain West. Had 3 hits, including a 3-run homer and 4 ribbies in the Mountain West title game against San Diego State. That one is fouled. So 2 strikes on Hartman. Cougars won the Mountain West tournament. The regular season champs San Diego State 14-4 in that championship. Trying to get on the board here early. Lays off on the outside off speed pitch. It's 1-2. Smith away from first after the leadoff walk. And again, Kleinschmidt checking on him.
Kleinschmidt trying to hold these runners to calm down. We know they're going to be trying to get to second base any way they can. We talked about him being a professional, slowing the game down to his pace, and you already see him with the runner on first.
Swung out and missed, and Kleinschmidt gets a big strikeout for the second out. Hartman retired. And they're 2 away from Matt Priest.
It's like a little slider at the top of the zone. Just kind of hung up, but that's a really tough pitch for some batters to swing at and to hold off on.
Ethan Kleinschmidt had a 12 strikeout performance against Mercer back in March. I mean, this guy can pile them up in a hurry. And he has his first of the day.
I think he's picked off the first more pitches than he's thrown to home.
Matt Priest, the USC transfer, he's the designated hitter. Redshirted last year for the Trojans.
Ground ball, E-money, 1 pitch away, kid. Here we go.
366, 4 homers, and 37 runs batted in. He's been the Cougars' primary DH over the last month. And that rides in and hits him. So a leadoff walk by Kleinschmidt, and now he hits Matt Priest. So 2 on with 2 out. And Dustin Robinson will have a chance to do some damage for the Cougs here in the first inning.
Cutter up and in, and you can see it hits him just in the arm right there. Yes, just in the hand, barely. He tried to go inside with a cutter, inside with a slider, maybe got a little big on it, pulled it inside just a little bit too much and got the hand.
Dustin Robinson, redshirt sophomore left fielder. Big left-handed bat with some pop. And the wind, David, is blowing out. It's blowing basically to left center. And this is a guy you got to be careful with. That slider misses outside. 1 ball and no strikes to Robinson. He's a JUCO transfer from Cypress College.
You know, one thing Coach Cho talked about is the ball comes off his bat just different. It sounds different, comes off harder.
Well, he hits it sharply to H.A. Singer, deep second base, and that's going to end the inning. So Ethan Kleinschmidt walks a hitter, hits another one, but the Cougars strand 2. Now Oregon State coming to the plate for the first time in this tournament. Washington State threatens but does not score in the top of the first, and now Mitch Canham's Oregon State Beavers will come to the plate for the first time in the national tournament. No conference tournament for the independent Beavers, so they haven't played in almost 2 weeks. Ready to get back to work. Easton Talt will lead it off. Veteran center fielder. He'll be followed by A.J. Singer, and what a year Singer has had. Team high 54 runs batted in.
Absolutely complete hitter. Team's RBI leader. He is going to be the guy who gets this offense going.
Going to be facing Nick Lewis, redshirt sophomore left-hander. 65 strikeouts in 91 innings for the Cougars this year. The Mountain West Conference Pitcher of the Year, leads the league in wins, ERA, and innings. It's been a good year for the lefty.
Great year, especially in a tough Mountain West Conference to pitch in. We're going to see a lot of the comp. The comp we heard this whole time was Jamie Moyer, Tom Glavine, a guy that can move the ball around, will not blow you away with any speed or his just pure stuff, which we're going to see a lot in this regional, but he can pitch.
And the old timers like you and I will appreciate those comps.
I love it.
So Easton Talt standing in, the center fielder, veteran from Everett, Washington. 261, 5 homers, 40 runs batted in, also 25 stolen bases. He's been the leadoff man most of the season and hoping to quickly climb out of an 0 for 12 slump as he comes into the tournament. And he's ahead here, 2 balls and no strikes. I'm sensing, David, and as a former pitcher, you can attest to this, both pitchers here so far, missing the strike zone a little bit. There's some early jitters, perhaps.
Without a doubt, coming into these regionals, no matter what you've done during the regular season, conference, tournament, it doesn't matter. This is a different environment. The lights are a little bit brighter, and you're facing one of the best teams in the country, and you, with the pressure on your shoulders, you want to win game 1. You're going to come out and try a little bit too hard, and then it's about nerves, calming those down, and then being able to make pitches like he did. Now, one thing with Nick Lewis, as we already see, is how fast of a pace he is working. He is getting back on that mound with the ball in his hand, ready to go.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Talt. Checked his swing. Did he go? No. Third base umpire Nick Mull. Kevin Sweeney calling the balls and strikes. Randy Rosenberg is in second. Ryan Broussard, the first base umpire. So a 3-ball, 2-strike count right out of the gate here. Easton Talt trying to set the table here for the Beavers. Hit sharply to second. That's Gavin Roy. His throw to Shonsby at first, and there's one away.
Go, AJ. Start us off, buddy.
And that'll bring up the aforementioned A.J. Singer. Singer might be one of the best second basemen in the country. Talk a lot about Singer's defense. Gold Glover, All-American last year for that Omaha team. But has also done an incredible job at the plate for Oregon State. And it hit him. So both pitchers to start their day hit a batter in the first inning. So Singer's aboard with 1 out.
They're just trying to establish, themselves on the mound with a little dominance, letting the other team know they're not afraid to go inside. But to be in all seriousness, it is important in games like this to pitch inside, to pitch on that side of the plate. Do not be afraid to get in there.
And that's really a big part of Washington State's strategy as a staff. They've been known to do it all year long.
Yes. And head coach Nathan Cho was telling us as well, be ready for that. We will pitch inside. We will dominate in there. We're not afraid to go in there. We will go in and out, but we will dominate inside.
Ethan Porter, true freshman at the plate. He has been at first base over the last several weeks, but gets the start as the designated hitter in this game. Mitch Canham mixing his lineup a little bit from what we've been used to the last 3-4 weeks. I think he's trying to get the best matchups against Lewis, the left-hander. Porter, a couple of home runs on the year. Had an 11-game hitting streak going into the final weekend of the regular season. Porter has raised his average almost 100 points over the last month.
Pitcher like Nick Lewis causes problems for coaches. So the issue is trying to go out there and find players that are going to put together really tough at-bats. Guys that are going to work counts, guys that are going to try to get on base. They're not going to go up there back leg swinging in against a guy like this. It's not going to work. So they're, when we're talking about the lineup and late changes a little bit different than what he's had before, he's trying to match up man for man against a pitcher, not a thrower.
Lewis with a 3-ball count here, 3-1 to Porter. Singer at first. And they'll check on him again. Program record 9th straight national tournament for the Beavers, and they're 25th overall. 19 of those have come since 2005. Mitch Canham in his 7th season has done a wonderful job. Fly ball deep right field. It's going to stay in the ballpark. Max Hartman is there. He'll haul it in for their second out. And Ethan Porter is retired. That'll bring up Josh Proctor, the left fielder. David, this is the first time that Oregon State has not hosted a regional since 2023. They were on the bubble to host a regional. Maybe a little disappointed, but there's a lot of excitement for the Beavers, especially coming into this venue, a place they've been many times over the years where their rivals call home.
Mitch Canham said they were really calm, didn't really worry about the regional setup, where it was going to be, whether they're hosting it or not. But I think there is a little bit of a little something in there coming down here and having to be a 2 seed instead of hosting.
Probably a chip on the shoulder. Proctor, a foul ball. Josh Proctor, big physical true freshman, 6'5", 235. Still learning the outfield, but you can see that this guy has a lot of physical potential. 7 home runs, 39 runs batted in, and enters the national tournament on a 9-game hitting streak. Ground ball to second. Should end the inning. Gavin Roy to first, and that'll do it. So the Beavers get one on the hit by pitch, but they leave that runner. We have played one in Eugene, no score. The NCAA Baseball Regionals are presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? Just a beautiful part of the country. Eugene, Oregon. Home of the Oregon Ducks. Looking at Nathan Choate. On his 3rd year as head coach at Washington State, 47 years old. First national tournament as a head coach. It's been 4 years at Loyola Marymount, now 3rd year on the Palouse, and he's done a wonderful job. Popped up. Ryan Shonsby, the first baseman for the Cougars, first pitch swinging, and he is quickly retired by Ethan Kleinschmidt, who had a bumpy first inning, David. But, you know, all in all, only 14 pitches to get out of the first, and Washington State was left stranding 2 in that inning.
Obviously probably not excited about the walk and the hit batter, but he worked around it. 14 pitches, only 6 strikes. It was really keeping the running game calm, not letting Washington State get anything started, and that bunt helped them to pop up the first.
This is Ollie Obenauer, the 3rd baseman for Washington State. Lanky sophomore. 3rd baseman has a homer on the year and 22 runs batted in. Obenauer started all over the field last year. This year he's been there main third baseman. Both teams looking for their first hit. 2-strike pitch. It's inside.
Good velo. That was, he let it go a little bit. You know, Kleinschmidt during the week had hit mid-90s, 96 in practice. Right there, that probably had every little bit of 95.
Swing and a miss, and Kleinschmidt has his second strikeout. 2 down.
Kleinschmidt reaching back and just believing in his fastball, letting it, he went inside and then he went away with his fastball, blowing it right by Obenauer.
Kleinschmidt should be one of the top left-handers taken in this year's draft. Certainly that's the buzz around him. As he throws to Cam McLeod now, the catcher. McLeod, the third Canadian in this Cougars starting lineup. He's from Vancouver.
Oh, yeah.
Strike 1-1.
For every ball he threw in the first inning, he is getting a lot more comfortable this inning.
Starting to settle in. Foul back by McLeod. Saw the numbers on McLeod, who redshirted at Kansas State last year. He's an amazing defensive catcher. Junior college Gold Glover a couple of years ago. Trying to get something going here with 2 outs in the second. Swung on and missed. Back-to-back Ks for Kleinschmidt. We played 1.5, no score.
That was a nasty slider, down and in, coming in with some good heat before it, and he strikes out McLeod.
Oregon State ready to hit here in the bottom of the second. No score. Beavers in their 9th straight national tournament. 43 wins this year. 5th straight season with 40 or more wins. And we talked about the pitching and defense. The ERA is off the charts. The fielding percentage, .985. I mean, that would be a record if they can finish out the year at .985. San Francisco had that number back in 2011. Adam Haight leading it off here, followed by Paul Vasquez and Jacob Galloway for the Beavers. Adam Haight, sophomore outfielder, 20th round pick by the Mets a couple of years ago. He's been their main right fielder this year. Hits it to the left side, picked nicely by the third baseman Obenauer, and the throw to first is in time. The NCAA Regionals coverage for all 16 sites continuing tomorrow on ESPN+. and the ESPN app. For more information, visit ncaa.com, the home for all of the NCAA championships. So one out for Paul Vasquez. Paul Vasquez, sophomore third baseman, played in just 5 games for the Beavers last year. It's been a breakout year for him personally as the everyday third baseman. David, Nick Lewis has retired 3 in a row since hitting A.J. Singer, as he tries to do what we saw Kleinschmidt do in the top of the inning, and that's just kind of settle into a comfortable rhythm.
You see him there again, pitching inside, not afraid to go in. That might have been a little bit inside. The pitch before, Washington State really wanted it. But you see him time after time again going inside and trying to make this Oregon State offense uncomfortable.
This is hammered to left center. Paul Vasquez runs it to the wall. He's going to dig for second. Nobody there covering, and he'll stand up easily with a one-out double. And you can see he's fired up. Beavers fans are fired up. First hit of the ball game for either team, and it's Vasquez with a ringing double.
87-mile-an-hour fastball out over the plate. When you get into a 3-1 count, those are the type of swings you want to take. Let it eat, get on that back leg, swing big, try to make something happen. And now Vasquez got Oregon State on the board a little bit with a runner on base.
Runner in scoring position for the catcher, Jacob Galloway. Good block by Cam McLeod. Galloway, veteran catcher, hits in 9 of his last 10 games. Senior has a homer, 27 runs batted in, good batting average, just a few ticks under 300. Here's a strike in the outside corner, 1-1.
Galloway does not strike out much. Really good, disciplined hitter. Definitely advanced type of a hitter, and this is the type of guy you want at the plate with a runner on second base.
1-1 pitch. Fastball lifted down the line in left, and that's going to get down for a base hit. Vasquez being waved around third. He'll try to score. Play at the plate, not in time. Jacob Galloway with an RBI here in the second inning, and Oregon State leads it 1-0.
Galloway not trying to do too much with that ball either, just lifted it to left field. The ball got away from the left fielder Robinson just a little too far. He kind of looked like he was going to make a play on it, but the ball ends up landing a little delayed on the relay coming from the third baseman. You see him carry the ball down to the left of the line a little bit too much, and that's probably the reason the runner was able to score. Once he got the ball, just kept traveling with it a little too much.
28th run batted in for Galloway. Now, this is good for Beavers fans to see, as the offense for Oregon State, which has been pretty good this year, was not so sharp the last few weeks of the regular season. And here's Jacob Craig at the plate. Craig, big senior first baseman. He was the Beavers' starting first baseman in Omaha last year. And you saw the numbers. He has struggled at the plate this year, and this is his first start since March 21st. Little number past the mound. Going to be a tough play for the shortstop, Northrup. And Kyler Northrup throws one on the money to get Jacob Craig by half a step. Over to third is Galloway. There are 2 down for Tyler Inge.
Great play there by the shortstop. You get this big batter in Craig, taking a massive swing and just getting it past the pitcher. The shortstop coming in, wonderful play there. And runner does move up to third, right on the slow grounder.
Two outs, run in here for Oregon State. And this is Tyler Inge, transfer from Michigan. took over at short back in April and hasn't looked back. Trying to hold up.
Are you sure about it? Are you sure about it?
Comes into the national tournament seeing it well. 6 for his last 15 at the plate. Fly ball to left. Dustin Robinson is there. And he'll make the catch. That'll end the second. But Oregon State jumps out in front. An RBI double by Jacob Galloway. 1-0 here in Eugene. ESPN is the home for the NCAA College Baseball Regionals. For around-the-clock multi-game coverage, scan the QR code below. ESPN Plus subscribers, you can access expanded coverage with Squeeze Play. Look at that shot.
Beautiful. First time up here, and it is gorgeous.
First time in Eugene, huh?
First time in Eugene. Spent some time in Portland playing in the minor leagues against the Portland Beavers, but this is first time here.
That's the voice of David Ardsman. Won a national championship with Rice back in 2003. I'm Clay Mathick. Glad to have you with us. Day one here in Eugene as Kyler Northrup leads it off for the Cougars. Now trailing 1-0. Ethan Kleinschmidt had a 1-2-3 second inning. Hasn't allowed a hit yet. A couple of base runners in the first, thanks to walks and a hit by pitch.
What we really saw with Kleinschmidt is switching how he was pitching. Right in the heart of the lineup, he was throwing a lot more cutters, sliders, and then towards the end of the lineup was just pumping heaters into each hitter.
Nice diving catch by Paul Vasquez. I don't know that there's a better third baseman in this regional. You talk about a great glove. Mitch Canham, the head coach, says he is definitely a Gold Glover.
Incredible play going to his left, diving, making that catch. That ball came off Northrup's bat very hard. Great play by Vasquez.
About .985 fielding percentage. That's the first pitch strike to the leadoff man, Trevor Smith, who walked his first time up. As a former pitcher, you can appreciate good defense behind you. It takes a lot of stress off of your appearance on the mound.
Makes it a lot easier, I'll tell you that, especially when you can give up hard hit balls and your defense still steps up and makes great plays. It allows you to relax more, it allows you to pitch, and it allows you to make mistakes.
Ethan Kleinschmidt won his last 2 outings of the regular season at Long Beach and against Air Force. And he gets another strikeout. That's his 4th. And quickly 2 down here in the 3rd.
Kleinschmidt falling into a good rhythm, pitching with confidence, coming after the hitters. You know, first inning we saw him getting behind a little bit too much. Now he's getting ahead and getting guys out.
Gavin Roy tried to sacrifice Trevor Smith to second base his first time up, ended up popping it up to first base. Mountain West Conference Tournament MVP. Hit .444 with a homer and 7 runs batted in last week.
And an incredible stash to go with it.
That'll work.
Oh, yeah.
Missed off the outside part of the plate, a ball and a strike.
According to a fan, that was right down the middle. It was a little outside.
A lot of umpires here today. College World Series starts 2 weeks from today. Baseball fans around the country very fired up as the tournament gets going. Foul back, 1-2. Again, these teams met during the regular season in Pullman. 2-game series back in April. Beavers won 18-0 in game 1. Wazoo responded with a 7-6 win the next day. 2 outs, the 1-2 pitch. Now 2-2. And when we were talking to Nathan Choate yesterday, the head coach for the Cougars, he said, hey, there's one thing I know about my guys. We can take a punch.
Without a doubt, especially like they started off the season at Alabama and they beat Alabama. He said that was the type of game that gave them a chance to know they can compete with anyone.
Another chance here for Vasquez. Good look at third baseman. Couple of nice plays for Paul. And it's another 1-2-3 inning for Kleinschmidt. 2.5 in the books. 1-0 Beavers.
The real fun just getting started.
Run straight for the breakaway.
The celebration is on.
Couple of weeks. College World Series gets started in Omaha, Nebraska. Can't wait. Oregon State was there a season ago. As Easton Talt, the leadoff man, hits for their second time, 0 for 1 with a ground out.
I'm going to be there for game 1 for the College World Series. I'm going to be in Omaha for that.
You see the top 16 national seeds. UCLA, the champions from the Big Ten. They've been #1 all year, 51-6 record. And of course, the SEC, as it seems to always be, is well represented. This one is hit well by Talt. Coming over in the gap, making the catch, Max Hartman from right field for the first down. And David, even though last year's national champion LSU is not in the field, the SEC has 5 of the top 8 national seeds. The conference has won the last 6 national championships. Is this the year somebody else, another league, gets in there and claims the title?
Well, the Big Ten, if they have anything to say with that, they're going to put up some good teams. Obviously, Oregon and UCLA.
A.J. Singer, a pop-up into short right, going back is Roy to make the catch for the second out.
You know, ACC has some wonderful teams as well. Georgia Tech, UNC. You know, there is some very, very good baseball all around the country this year. And it's really nice to see some other conferences come up with some big national teams. Not just get into the field of 64, but have some real legit teams.
2 up, 2 down for Nick Lewis as he deals to Ethan Porter. Lewis trying to have a quick bounce back inning after giving up a run in the second. Porter flew out to right. He's 0 for 1. You were speaking of Georgia Tech. James Ramsey's Yellow Jackets putting a pounding on UIC, the University of Illinois at Chicago, 22-5 today. That might be the best offense in the country.
22 runs coming out into the regional. That's how you want to get it started. Some teams start a little slow, some teams come out hot, and that is the perfect way to come out and get your playoffs started.
Hammered to left, down the line and deep. Has a chance. It is off the wall for Porter. Around first, he will go into a second with a stand-up double. 3rd double of the ball game for the Beavers. And it comes with 2 outs for Ethan Porter.
Good swing by Porter, taking a fastball in, driving it down the line, hitting it almost off the NCAA sign out there in left field. Man, he did a good job, and you're seeing the bats. Oregon State, while being known for their pitching and their defense, they can swing with anybody. They have power. They've got some good at-bats. They can grind it through at-bats, move guys over. They have it all.
Porter came into the day the only player on the roster hitting over 300. Oregon State's team batting average of 271, lowest in the regional, but again, their offense is timely. And we've seen that already today with an RBI double last inning from Jacob Galloway. Now a 2-out double by Porter. And you just saw Brian Gibson, the third base coach, talking to Josh Proctor ahead of this at bat. Proctor is 0 for 1, grounded out to second to end the first. The pitch inside, ball and no strikes to Proctor, trying to extend that hitting streak to 10 games. Over the last 9, Proctor 15 for 30, 3 doubles, a triple, a couple of homers, and 16 RBIs. This one is going to stay in the park. Trevor Smith comes in, makes the grab, and Porter is stranded. But Mitch Canham's team has a 1-0 lead here on day 1 in Eugene. We're going to talk to the Oregon State bench boss next. State nothing as we head to the fourth. Let's bring in Mitch Canham, head coach of the Beavers. And coach, 3 doubles from your offense here so far to start the day and the 1-0 lead. Noticed you juggled up your lineup from what we've seen here the last few weeks. What was the offensive approach coming in here against the left-hander Nick Lewis?
Nick's done a great job all year. He's put up phenomenal numbers. Attacks with his heater, has a good changeup, good breaking ball as well. I'd like to see us lay off of the slider and the change down below the zone, but I know our guys have been hunting fastball, prepping for that kind of angle all this week. Obviously, he's had a lot of success, but right now, I think the one thing that's getting us in trouble is just a little bit of the chase below the zone right now.
Ethan Kleinschmidt got in a little trouble early with the hit by pitch and the walk. How are you seeing it right now, him settling in?
Yeah, I mean, it really, after that first batter of the game, attacking with his heater, getting ahead, looks like he's spotting up pretty good. Looks like it's coming out with a lot of life, too. And then using his slider as well. He got a whiff on a cutter earlier, I think in the second, up and away, which was good usage there. Here we go. But just attacking the zone, he looks like he's settled in. Just that first hitter, take a deep breath and get back up there.
Coach, good luck today and throughout the tournament.
Much appreciated. Thank you. Go Beavs.
That's Mitch Canham, 41 years old, took the Beavers to Omaha last year. There is another hit by pitch. So Kleinschmidt has not allowed a hit yet, but he's hit 2 batters now. He's walked another one. And the leadoff man is on here in the fourth for Washington State.
Going inside, letting that ball ride a little bit too far in. Again, that's the game you play. When you're trying to pitch in, you're trying to make hitters uncomfortable. You have to be okay with hitting some batters. He's gotten 2 hit by pitches so far, and I guarantee you he doesn't care.
So Max Hartman is aboard. Now, David, it did start to rain here in the last few minutes. It's not raining hard. It's a glorified mist. With that said, could that possibly be affecting Kleinschmidt? And will it affect the pitchers here going forward? I
think this entire regional is comfortable with a little bit of rain. They've all pitched through it, being Northwest teams. You know, in the 3 big with Washington State, Oregon State, and Oregon, they're all comfortable in this situation, in this type of weather, and he knows how to pitch through it.
61 degrees and light rain now in Eugene as Matt Priest is at the plate. Priest was hit by a pitch from Kleinschmidt back in the first.
Sometimes a little light mist, a little humidity helps you grip the ball a little bit.
Big cut. Ball and a strike. Matt Priest has battled injuries this year for Washington State. And despite that, hit a team best .427 against Mountain West pitching. Trying to get Washington State on the board, trailing 1-0 here in the fourth. Talked about it being a long time since Cougars fans have been able to watch their team play in a national tournament. Last time 2010. Also the last time the Cougars won 30 games in a season. Long set. Kleinschmidt comes home and it's fouled back. 1-2. This is the part of the order where the Cougars hope to do some damage. Priest, the cleanup hitter. Dustin Robinson due up next. And there's Nathan Choate. Very humble young man. Swung out and missed. Strikeout for Kleinschmidt. He has struck out at least 1 hitter every inning here so far. That's his 5th today.
Taking a little off that pitch, throwing a changeup away. You've seen him attack with the fastball through these at bats, and then he drops this breaking ball down away 85 miles an hour. Great pitching.
So 1 out. Hartman at first, and this is Robinson who swings at the first pitch, and he'll send it out of play. Robinson, Grounded out to first to end the first inning. .651 strikeouts now for the Oregon State staff this year. Coming into the tournament, the only team in the field with more strikeouts this year, Wake Forest. Runner goes. And that hit him. Second hit by pitch this inning. Third of the day for Kleinschmidt.
I think we talked to Nathan Cho, and he talked about the Washington State offense. They can do anything in any way to try to get guys on base. I don't think getting hit by pitch was the exact one he was referring to, but it is working. They're getting guys on base, and you know what? You take it any way you can get it.
Of course, with Hartman over there at first base and those 18 stolen bases, Kleinschmidt was wary of him anyway. A little precipitation in the air, hits another batter. So 2 on for Schansby with 1 out. Kleinschmidt only had 9 hit by pitch this entire season. He has 3 today now. Cougars still looking for their first base hit. Foul back by Ryan Schansby. Schansby skied to center. He is 0 for 1.
You're talking about Hartman and his ability to cause havoc on the base path. 18 stolen bases for 21 attempts. I wouldn't be surprised if you don't see something out of him here. Something to try to get that offense going while getting hit by pitch is nice. Oh, yeah. They're going to want to have something else going.
Ryan Schansby leads the Cougars in homers and runs batted in. As the rain starts to come down a little harder now. That's outside. Good block by Galloway. Schansby, second team All Mountain West. Second year with the Cougars after a couple of years in junior college. Now one of Washington State's captains, trying to get something going here. Down a run. 2 on, 1 out. Kleinschmidt delivers, and that's outside. 3-2, and Ollie Obenauer's on deck.
This is a spot in the lineup where Kleinschmidt got comfortable with his fastball, but now you see him when he's trying to get the strikeout, he's going back to his slider. So mixing it up a little bit against this spot in the lineup.
Runners go, foul back. Runners were on the move with 1 out.
They had good jumps too. They would have been in easy. That runner on first base would have scored on a base hit in the gap.
Hartman at second, Robinson at first. Ryan Schansby at the plate.
That was interesting. That was a timed pickoff, but I think the first baseman Craig thought it was to him because he broke to the bag too, but it was to second base.
Ethan Kleinschmidt trying to work out of trouble. Oh, yeah. Runners go again. Snap throw down to third. It gets into left field. Hartman comes home. On to third base goes Robinson. It was called strike 3 at the plate for the second out. But a run comes in, and we're tied at 1.
The catcher trying to throw from his knees. Galloway getting it down to third base, but throwing it a little bit too up the line. The third baseman had to make a hard play to try to get in front of it. You'll see him try to do everything he can to stop that ball, get in front of it. As a third baseman, you have to sacrifice your body, stop that ball. You know what? It didn't. I don't know if Galloway had a great grip on the ball. Maybe with that rain causing a little issue.
So 2 outs, a run in, and this is Obenauer, who struck out against Kleinschmidt his last time out. If you're thinking, well, why aren't they shutting this game down because it's raining in the Pacific Northwest? They just don't do that. All turf field, and it's going to take a lot of rain for there to be any kind of delay. Plus, it's not going to rain that hard for that long.
I imagine a lot of lightning. The lightning is probably where the delays come up here. They are used to this type of rain. All of these players are used to it.
Third approach on the mound, but it's turf everywhere else. Swung on and missed, and Kleinschmidt will get out of the inning. Just the 1 run allowed. So an Oregon State error ties this game up. It's 1 apiece through 3.5.
ESPN 40-plus NCAA championships. Confetti rains. Nets are cut. Joy erupts. Hardware is hoisted. History happens here on ESPN, home of NCAA championships.
Back here in Eugene, Oregon, and we are tied at 1. Washington State and Oregon State, day 1 of the Eugene Regional. We have Oregon, the host, taking on Yale coming up in her second game. The Ducks, the number 11 national seed. Ground ball off the bat of Adam Haight, the right fielder for the Beavers. And Kyler Northrup throws him out. Second time that Haight has been out on a ground ball to the left side. So Nick Lewis gets the first down of the 4th. ESPN is the home of MLB TV. Stream all MLB out-of-market games live or on demand, all in one place. Alongside former big leaguer David Aardsma, I'm Clay Matfitt. 10 years as a reliever in the majors. Some here in the Pacific Northwest with the Mariners. Great to have you with us this weekend.
Well, we didn't ever have to deal with the rain. We always had a roof. So that was always nice.
One out for Paul Vasquez at the plate for the Beavers. Fly ball to center. Northrup, the shortstop, going out there, but he's called off by Trevor Smith, who makes the catch. Nick Lewis gave up that 1 run in the second inning. Back-to-back doubles. But he has found a groove here the last couple of innings.
Yeah, he's doing a great job of getting comfortable, slowing down. Again, yes, he's given up a couple doubles, but he's pitching around it. And really, outside of the Vasquez double, he has not been hurt.
One strike to Jacob Galloway. Buster Posey Award semifinalist. Pretty good hitter too, but it's going to hold up for Max Hartman. That is a tidy inning. Just 6 pitches needed for Nick Lewis to get through the 4th inning. We head to the 5th. We're going to talk to the Washington State head coach, Nathan Choate, next. Washington State won, Oregon State won. Back here at PK Park in Eugene, top of the 5th we go. Day 1 of the national tournament. Let's bring in Nathan Choate, third-year head coach of the Cougars. And Coach, you're the underdog in this regional here against this first opponent, but so far so good as we head to the 5th. What was the approach coming in against Ethan Kleinschmidt?
Yeah, you know, we need to make sure we see him in the zone. You know, he's effectively wild. And so if we can get some count leverage, I think we'll be in a pretty good spot. But, you know, he's got good stuff. We don't have any hits yet, but we do have a tie game.
Nick Lewis giving up a couple doubles early. What are you seeing from him?
Just was behind in the count. The 0-2 or 1-2 pitch, he was trying to elevate, just didn't get it there. And then the other one was a 3-1 fastball. They had count leverage, just got a pretty good swing.
Nathan, we appreciate your time. Good luck.
Thanks, guys.
Nathan Choate, leading the Cougars to the Mountain West Tournament Championship. First NCAA appearance in 16 years as Cam McLeod is at the plate, tries to hold up. He went through for strike 1. Second year in the Mountain West for the Cougars, and their last. These teams are going to be rivals in the new Pac-12 next year. And that's going to be exciting for fans of that conference. Seeing a comeback, certainly in a new form. A lot of different teams in the league, but these two will be familiar faces.
You know, Mitch Canham, one of the things he really hit upon is West Coast baseball, and how much he loves the West Coast and how much he wants the West Coast to be represented nationally in the regionals, in the field of 64. So when they go to Pac-12, it's great. This is going to be a wonderful baseball conference, and do not sleep on Texas State and Dallas Baptist. Those are some really good baseball down there.
Kleinschmidt strikes out McLeod to start the 5th. The one thing about the Mountain West that Nathan Choate talked to us about is that it has more often than not been a one-bid league. Looking forward to the Pac-12 and the future of that league. He thinks that's going to be a multi-bid league and one of the better ones in the non-Power 4.
Without a doubt, and there is going to only be 7 teams in it, so it's going to be tough to find some other opponents. It's going to take some juggling by the coaches to find some other opponents, because the way Oregon State has been doing it for the last couple of years. But that conference is going to be strong. It's going to be a really good baseball spread out. It's all in one little region, and so they should have an opportunity to be multi-bid conference.
3 in a row set down by Ethan Kleinschmidt, all via the strikeout. As the number 9 hitter Kyler Northrup. That's for the second time. He lined to Paul Vasquez at third his first time around. 2 balls and no strikes. And there's a strike, 2-1. Rain has been a bit of an issue here the last inning. Still continues to fall. Light breeze blowing straight out. Kind of tied up Northrup. And it's 2-2. Top of the order on deck, Trevor Smith. Center fielder. Struck out his last time up as well. This is down.
Went to the same pitch, that slider down. Trying to get another swing. Just missed a little bit below zone.
Full count to Northrup. Cougars still looking for their first hit. And that's going to get out of play. We knew that the pitching was going to be good for Oregon State, and so far for Kleinschmidt it has. Did give up the run last inning. A couple of hit by pitch under that first run as Hartman scored on the throwing error and Jacob Galloway, the catcher. But 7 pitchers with ERAs below 3, including Kleinschmidt. Ground ball, Vasquez charging. Wet turf. Gets there in plenty of time to throw right on the money for their second out.
So amazing, Paul Vasquez.
Those are not the easiest plays when that ball starts hitting that turf, getting wet, coming in, and then making a really good throw across the diamond. It isn't easy. Every single play takes a little bit more focus. Got to make sure you have the ball in your hand like firmly. But man, every single play you're going to see from the infield on these throws, give it a little bit more respect because these are not easy plays.
Popped up. Jacob Galloway, the catcher behind home plate, leaving the mask on, makes the catch. And Smith is retired quickly. Another 1-2-3 inning for Kleinschmidt. Welcome back to Eugene and the NCAA Baseball Regionals presented by Capital One. Boy, you can't beat that scenery.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Here in Eugene, Oregon, day one of the national tournament. The Oregon Ducks and Yale coming up in our second game. This game between the Cougars and the Beavers, a couple of old Pac-12 rivals. And next year we'll be in the Pac-12 again, tied at 1 as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Jacob Craig, the first baseman, leads it off with a screamer into left center. Gets past the left fielder Robinson, and Craig is standing at second base to start the 5th.
It's got to feel good for Craig, who's had a little bit of a down year, getting the offense going, and another double for this Oregon State offense. I don't think they hit singles or triples or home runs or anything anymore. It's all doubles. You'll see this ground ball get past this shortstop, past the left fielder, and Craig getting into second base.
Jacob Craig, kind of a fan favorite.
Yes, look at him. How do you not love it? He's a giant lumberjack. Fits in perfect up here.
Now Tyler Inge squared around the bunt. Gets it down perfectly. Craig will easily get to third. Lewis flips to first. Not in time. Nick Lewis took a little bit too long, and Inge beat it out.
It's a great bunt by Inge. And you know what? Making it tough on Lewis. Bunting it to the right side. Making Lewis go to his non-comfortable throwing side. And it took a little bit to get to first. They called him safe. And they're going to get a replay.
Tyler Inge, the son of former big leaguer Brandon Inge, who spent 13 years in the major leagues. He runs well, and he was called safe on the field.
Runs well, does everything well, is a good defender, good classic 9-hole hitter. And in a classic 9-hole hitter, that's the way Mitch Canham described him as. He'll get the bunt down, he'll get a base hit, he'll work it back, he'll take an out to move a runner over. perfect bunt, and when you're facing a lefty who's going to be falling off to the third base side, you want to bunt to that first base. And again, you watch, when you see the replay, you see that he can't really turn around and get comfortable. He has to kind of backhand the throw. And so when you get a pitcher to backhand the throw, it's going to take longer than a normal throw would.
So they're taking a look at it at the DV Sport Replay Operations Center in Pittsburgh. Here's the call. And it's an out. So Tyler Inge is the first out at the bottom of the 5th. The call is overturned.
It's the right call. While on the field, that throw just kind of floated in the air, and it looked like he ran through it. The ball did just beat him. But either way, here's the thing for Oregon State. You don't really care that he was out and safe. Yeah, you wanted him to be safe, but he did his job and got Craig to third base. Now he's at third base with 1 out.
So a sacrifice bunt for Tyler Inge. And the call is overturned. Got him by a hair. And now Nathan Choate comes out for a chat with their starter Nick Lewis. First conference pitcher of the year in program history. Went 6+ innings in 7 of his league starts and has done fine for 4 1/3 here today.
Choate runs the pitching staff, so not a whole lot of times. You used to see that with a lot of managers, a lot of head coaches in college baseball, where they ran the pitching staff. They kind of controlled everything, third base, and ran the pitching staff. But nowadays, a lot of times you have the pitching coach run it and the hitting coach run the hitting. But Nathan Choate, a little bit old school, runs the pitching side.
It's a very right-handed pitching staff. Tabor Fast is the only other healthy left-hander on the roster for Washington State. Infield drawn in now is the top of the order. Easton Taltz up there. Throw down to third. Cam McLeod has a strong arm as Craig is back to the bag.
Trying to catch Craig sleeping. Trying to think Oregon State might be doing something here with the leadoff hitter. Trying to get something across. Maybe take a little bit too big of a lead over there for the big first baseman.
Taltz is 0 for 2. Line to right field his last time up. Hit it squarely. A guy who helped the Beavers get to Omaha last year. The second straight year leading the club in walks and stolen bases. He's been a good leadoff man. Trying to give Oregon State the lead back. Sends it into left center field. And this appears to be deep enough. In fact, it's on the warning track. Just kept drifting. Jacob Craig comes in easily, and the Beavers do regain the lead 2-1 here in the 5th inning. Taltz almost got that one out of here.
Perfect job of hitting, just trying to get a fly ball, but man, he has got a little bit of pop right there. That ball is going out to left center field, almost got it out. I thought it was going to be a routine fly ball to left, score the runner, and this ball gets to that warning track. Great job of hitting. A lot of power on the leadoff hitter, Taltz.
Hit that ball about 385 feet. And for Taltz, his 41st run batted in. 2-1 now Beavers as A.J. Singer comes up. Hit by a pitch and a pop out. He cranks this one foul. 2 strikes to A.J. Singer.
Lewis still looking for his first strikeout of the day. We know he's not a big strikeout pitcher. He's a contact pitcher. But I think he'd like a K right here.
Popped up. He's going to stay on the infield. Kyler Northrup, the shortstop, gets underneath it. And that's the 3rd out. But a leadoff double by Craig. Sac fly by Taltz. And Oregon State is back on top as we head to the 6th here in Eugene. Back here in rainy Eugene as Oregon State is back on top 2-1 as we head to the 6th inning. You can see that the grounds crew here at PK Park addressing the approach on the mound, as that's the first sign that this pesky weather is starting to become a bit of an issue. It's not raining hard, it's just raining enough where now footing and the grip on the ball might be problematic.
Yes, and what it does is when you put the new Diamond Dry, the new clay out there, one of the problems is it starts getting stuck in your cleats, and it starts affecting how you're landing, how you're feeling the ground. Kleinschmidt right now cleaning out his cleats, and so that does start affecting you in some ways. So look for a little bit of instability, a little bit of little issues with the cleats, but it hasn't been too heavy. It's just been steady, and so I don't think it'll be too big of a problem. But watch that a little bit. Watch him slipping.
Gavin Roy to lead it off for Washington State. Still no hits for the Cougars in their first tournament appearance in 16 years. Max Hartman and Matt Priest also scheduled to hit here in the inning against Ethan Kleinschmidt. Kleinschmidt has 8 strikeouts today. No earned runs allowed through 5 innings. That one run that came in the 4th scored on a throwing error. Gavin Roy is 0 for 2. Talk about Roy's contributions offensively throughout the year, and you should. He's had great numbers. But defensively, when he moved to second base and Kyler Northrup moved from second to short back on April 1st, the feel of this team changed.
They haven't lost a series since. They started hitting better, playing better defense, even pitching better. When you make little changes like that and everything kind of clicks, you know, the team, and this is Nathan Cho really hit on this, they came one and they became a team after that move.
2-2 pitch. 3-2.
This is the key spot in the lineup for Kleinschmidt coming through here, 6th inning, seeing this type of lineup for the 3rd time. Roy is a huge out for him. Obviously, we've seen the numbers, 370 batting average, there's 42 RBIs. He is the out he needs to make.
That's upstairs, and he loses Gavin Roy. For Roy, his 29th walk of the year, and the Cougars are in business here in the 6th inning. While the Women's College World Series continues tonight in Oklahoma City, only 8 teams remain. Catch all the action on ESPN or stream it on the ESPN app. Texas, Mississippi State, UCLA from the Big Ten, and Arkansas. Some really good matchups in OKC tonight. Here in Eugene, we're on the road to Omaha. 2 weeks from today, the College World Series starts.
I love watching the softball World Series. I love watching the action. It's fun. I saw Arkansas get the win last night. It is a blast to see.
Hartman flashing bunt. Hartman hit by a pitch to start the 4th, scored on the throwing error by Galloway. You see all those national tournament appearances for the Ducks. They will be taking the field later this afternoon against Yale. Pop back.
Only college baseball, you see the 3-hole hitter who hits 340 with 7 home runs, 8 home runs, bunting. Only in college baseball. I love it. You know, you're asked to do everything. There's nothing is off the table. Get the job done.
Gavin Roy was unable to do that back in the 1st inning. Remember, the 2-hole hitter popped it up to 1st when he was called on to sacrifice. Throw to 1st, a little closer this time. Gavin Roy is back. There's 3 stolen bases on the year for Roy, but he does move well. And time is called as Nathan Choate comes out of the dugout and calls his hitter Max Hartman over for a little convo. What's the gist of this conversation?
Well, they're trying to set it up exactly how they want to get him second base. Where they want him to bunt the ball is probably actually the question, because the third baseman, Vasquez, was moving in hard on that last bunt. So usually in this situation, you'd want to bunt it to maybe that side of the base, make the pitcher come over and get it. So now they might be trying to pull it down the line, try to think a little bit like that. How do we want to play come now that we saw the defense and how the defense is going to adjust to you?
There's Paul Vasquez in on the turf at third base. He is about as good as you get for a third baseman in this national tournament. Popped up behind home plate. Hartman is going to breathe a sigh of relief as that finds the seats.
And they went with a hit and run. They switched it up a little bit. You see, it was an uncomfortable swing. Hartman trying to get down and away, trying to just put the bat on the ball. But you saw the runner in Roy taking off, trying to take second base as well. Just didn't quite execute it. That's the second time we've really seen them not execute a play.
They're not going this time. 2-2 the count.
Kleinschmidt going right back with that big slider, curveball away, trying to see if Hartman would keep chasing off the plate.
Little pop up, short, right center, long run, diving as Haight can't make the catch. First and second, nobody out for the Cougars. Adam Haight laid out for that ball, couldn't get there. A little flare for Max Hartman, and there is the first hit for the Washington State Cougars. It finally comes here in the 6th inning.
First hit, and I don't think they care how they got it. Perfect situation. I know he missed a couple bunts, missed the hit and run, gets this blooper into this to right center, that little in-between spot for everybody. You know, Haight not able to make the play, really made a good effort on it. But as Tall, being a really good center fielder, was right there to field the ball. Didn't let the runners advance any more bases than they already did. Held them to first and second. Now it gives your pitcher Kleinschmidt an opportunity to maybe get a double play or get an out to get out of the inning without giving up any runs.
So 2 on, nobody out, and Ethan Kleinschmidt is going to get a visit here from Rich Dorman, the pitching coach.
Now,
and even without the All-American sophomore right-hander Dax Whitney, who's out for the year with Tommy John, this pitching staff has been outstanding. Ethan Kleinschmidt, who assumed the Game 1 starter role for the Beavers after Whitney went down, has looked very good here today. Yes, he has had some traffic because of the walks and the hit by pitches. With that said, he's worked around that trouble.
Worked around it, and without that throw from Galloway that got into left field, there wouldn't be any runs on the base. He's on the board. He's done a wonderful job pitching around his own issues. And even here, starting out this inning, a walk and a bloop single, Washington State hasn't really been able to put any damage against them, any really good swings of the bat. It's going to be interesting to see how Washington State plays this right here.
Big cut from the redshirt freshman DH Matt Priest. The USC transfer trying to get the Cougars back to even. Maybe even put Washington State ahead. He is 0 for 1, hit by a pitch in the first, struck out in the 4th. And now he's behind in the count, 0-2. That visit by Rich Dorman. What was the message that Rich was trying to get across to Ethan Kleinschmidt?
Remember to slow the game down, call him at his pace. He was also probably talking to the infield a lot during that meeting about their positioning. We just saw the 3-hole hitter trying to bunt. They expect probably the 4-hole hitter to do the same thing.
Checked his swing. Did not go. The appeal to the first base umpire, Ryan Broussard. 1-2.
That's the interesting thing about Washington State. They said they'll do anything to get on base, anything to get guys over. 3-hole hitters try to bunt, hit and run, do whatever he can, and then they let the 4-hole hitter swing away once they have runners on first and second. So that's that problem that causes a pitching staff like Oregon State. They don't know what any of these hitters are going to do, and so your defensive positioning ends up a lot of times being out of position because you're playing for a bunt and they swing. You're playing for a swing and they bunt, and so they're keeping them off balance.
2 on, nobody out. 1-2 to the cleanup hitter, Matt Priest. Hits a liner into left field. That's a base hit. Eric Hutting, the third base coach, waving the runner around. Roy will score. And the game is even at 2. Matt Priest with an RBI base knock here in the 6th inning.
Great job of hitting. Wonderful job of hitting with 2 strikes, going up there, battling through the first couple pitches, getting this ground ball to the left side. He knew it right along the way. You see him cheering, excited to be tying this game up.
So after going 5 full innings without giving up a hit, Kleinschmidt gives up back-to-back bingos here in the 6th inning. And Dustin Robinson comes up with a chance to give the Cougars the lead. They have not had a lead in this game yet. Robinson hit by a pitch his last time up, flares that bunt, and that's a strike call. Dustin Robinson, 7 for 18 with a homer and 3 runs batted in during the Mountain West tournament. He comes in red hot. And another bunt popped back. It's just been hard to execute for the Cougars today.
Trying everything. It's hard to get it down. You know, a lot of times, though, that might be Kleinschmidt pitching up in the zone, letting his fastball ride. It is hard, especially when it's raining, to get above the ball and to get it down.
And you take the bunt off, 0-2. One thing we're going to see later today is when Yale takes the field, they will bunt with 2 strikes. That's what the Bulldogs are known for.
They're going to bunt 2 strikes. They might bunt no strikes. They might bunt like 3 balls, no strikes. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know if they know what they're going to do.
Inside, 2-2 to Dustin Robinson. We expected this to be fun. The old Pac-12 rivals going to be back in the Pac-12 together next year. First 5 innings, Washington State quiet. Sitting a couple of hits. As that one was foul. Past Dan Bauer, the first base coach.
This at-bats remind me a lot of the Priest at-bat, getting behind the count and then battling and fighting through. And that's what you have to do against a pitcher like Kleinschmidt. It gets a really good defensive staff. Defensive alignment in Oregon State is just battle through at-bats, battle through pitches, get that pitch count high.
Foul back.
Let's go, East, hit him down.
Did he go? Yes. That is a strikeout. Dustin Robinson goes down for the first out.
Slider away by Kleinschmidt. Obviously, Robinson had been battling this entire bat and just wasn't able to hold up enough.
Big strikeout for Kleinschmidt. Now a ground ball from getting out of this thing.
And that's the thing with Kleinschmidt, a pitcher like this, one strikeout and then immediately you're 1 ball away from getting out of big trouble.
Ryan Schansby struck out looking his last time up against Kleinschmidt. He's 0 for 2. Drove in 3 runs in the conference championship game, named to the all-tournament team. He's had a lot of clutch hits this year. Skies one into foul ground. Jacob Craig, the first baseman, trying to stay with it, and he'll run out of real estate.
I love when the crowd gets into it. They're all excited. Oregon State fans are into it today, even in the rain. You get a free baseball. You watch a baseball game and you get to take a baseball home.
Some Cougars fans mixing in against the Oregon State fans. You get the Ducks fans who are here early, anticipating a game coming up later this afternoon. They do not care that they are wet or chilly. Runners go, foul back. Hit and run was on. Schansby sent it right back to the netting. 1-2.
There's a lot of situations like that with Washington State. We've seen in this inning and in the last couple innings, so close from blowing something out, moving the runners or bunting, you know, in the second batter of the game, popping the bunt up, haven't been able to get the hit and runs down, haven't been able to get that extra base. They seem to be just one beat off from opening this game up.
Fly ball to left. Josh Proctor being called out by the center fielder Talt. And there are 2 away. So Schansby is retired. Hartman back to second. Priest back to first. Washington State has tied it up here in the 6th inning. And now time is called again as Rich Dorman will head back to the mound.
Kleinschmidt up to 92 pitches. Looks like they might be making the change right here. And he's done a great job of pitching, though, pitching around a lot of issues, pitching around a lot of soft contact, a lot of hit by pitches, some walks. A really good job of pitching by Ethan Kleinschmidt.
Ethan Kleinschmidt getting a nice round of applause from the Beavers fans. He took a no-hitter into the 6th inning. A couple of base hits by the Cougars produce a run. And so he leaves in a 2-2 game. Hits, the Cougars score to tie it up. Meanwhile, the starter for Washington State, Nick Lewis, has given up 4 doubles. The Cougars have had a hard time generating offense until this inning. And now, Albert Robles was in the bullpen, but they have decided to go with Wyatt Queen, junior right-hander, 6'2", 214-pounder, one of the high leverage relievers for the Beavers. Will make his 20th appearance of the year.
20th appearance of the year and 2.41 ERA, 41 innings pitched, 28 hits. You see a ton of strikeouts. He has big time strikeout stuff. And you know what? Huge leverage situation here coming in the 6th inning. A couple guys on base with 2 outs. Trying to get a strikeout, trying to get a ground ball to get out of this inning and give Kleinschmidt a really good start. And again, all the world for Kleinschmidt. Great job, really holding Washington State to nothing.
So Queen comes in with 2 on and 2 out. And he's dealing now to Ali Obenauer, who's 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts against Kleinschmidt. Kleinschmidt had 9 strikeouts before leaving. Most he's handed a ball game in his last 8 starts. This crowd, even though they're wet and chilly, has been into every pitch. This regional has a very familiar feeling to it. 3 Pac-12 teams from the old days and 2 future Pac-12 teams. And that's a called strike on the outside corner to Obenauer. Oregon State and Washington State will be opponents in the new look Pac-12 a year from now. As you look at Nathan Choate, the head coach of the Cougars. Cougars in their first national tournament appearance in 16 years. Meanwhile, Oregon State, it's like a rite of spring. Beavers are going to be in the national tournament. They were in Omaha last year.
Mitch Canham has done a wonderful job taking over for Pat Casey.
Swung on and missed, and Queen gets Oregon State out of the inning. But Washington State ties it up. Couple of base hits, and we're even at 2 through 5.5 in Eugene. Welcome back to Wet Eugene and the NCAA Baseball Regionals presented by Capital One. Alongside former big leaguer David Aardsma, I'm Clay Matvick. We are tied at 2 as Oregon State gets ready to hit again here in the bottom of the 6th inning. They have 4 total hits today against Washington State starter Nick Lewis, all doubles. Trying to get on board, but failing. Here's Ethan Porter. Pretty good bunt, well placed down the third base side. But Obenauer throws him out.
Good throw there, good play again. Every time when it's raining like this, it's kind of been consistently raining all game. The ball is wet, the ground is wet. These are really tough plays to make. The pitcher Lewis really comes up and makes a perfect throw. Whoever said pitchers aren't athletes? Come on.
They actually said that to you, to your face?
To my face. It hurts. It still hurts. You can tell.
So Josh Proctor comes up 0 for 2 for Oregon State. Starting left fielder, physical true freshman. Has been one of the Beavers' best hitters here in recent games. Came into the tournament 15 for his last 30. 3 doubles, a triple, and 2 home runs with 16 runs batted in. Hits this one well to right center. Long run for Trevor Smith. Reaches up on the warning track and makes the catch for the second out.
Smith with a real good job of tracking that ball. You know, the wind has kind of died, but when the rain is like this, it's hard to see the ball. Hard to keep your eyes open with the rain getting in there a little bit. But you watch him with the moment, the crack of the bat, he tracks it down, gets to the spot where the ball is going to be, slows down, and brings it in.
17th NCAA tournament for Washington State. Their first since 2010. They won the Mountain West Conference tournament in their second and last year in that league. Meanwhile, this is a program record 9th straight national tournament for Oregon State, and their 25th overall. as Adam Haight is up there with 2 outs. He's 0 for 2 today.
Nick Lewis doing a wonderful job of mixing in 4 doubles by Oregon State. Kind of leaving him out there. Yes, they've done a little bit of damage, got the 2 runs, but he's done a wonderful job of really not letting Oregon State take this game over and holding them to really just 2-0.
Did he go? Yes. 2-2 now to Adam Haight. Nick Lewis, the Mountain West Conference Pitcher of the Year. In his 9 Mountain West Conference starts, went 7-1. And boy, I don't know if he held up or not. It's tough. Tough strike. Back up the middle, and that's going to be a base hit for Adam Haight with 2 down here in the inning.
It's the first runner on base for Oregon State that is not a double. There you go. Great job of hitting, driving the ball right back up the box against Nick Lewis. Yes, Nick got the check swing on the pitch before. Tried to go heater, left it too much over the plate. Almost took Nick's feet off.
Paul Vasquez has a double in 2 trips, also a run scored. The Oregon State third baseman, if you're just joining us, has been excellent in the field. And he has been all year. He homered back in April against Washington State when these 2 teams met for a 2-game series in Pullman. Well, off-speed pitch. Oregon State won the first game of that 2-game dip 18-0, but then the Cougars rallied and won 7-6 the next day. Fly ball to center. Going back is Smith. And Trevor Smith has it for the 3rd out. So Oregon State strands a runner here in the inning. We head to the 7th in Eugene, all tied up at 2. Day 1 of the Eugene Regional. Oregon State, Washington State headed to the 7th, tied at 2. Oregon and Yale coming up later. The Ducks the host, number 11 national seed. This is double elimination. Winner of this regional will advance to the Supers next week. This region matches up with the Austin Regional. Of course, the Texas Longhorns are hosting there. And so what's going to happen between now and the start of the College World Series, which is 2 weeks from today in Omaha, Nebraska on June the 12th. This is Cam McLeod for Washington State. 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts against Ethan Kleinschmidt. He is happy that he is gone. Wyatt Queen came on in relief last inning, got the 1 out he needed to get the Beavers off the field.
White's done a wonderful job coming in and just throwing strikes. 7 total pitches so far, 6 strikes. It's exactly what you want. Mitch Canham talked about him being a key reliever, even possibly a starter in one of these games, and he is pumping the zone with strikes.
If you haven't heard about Oregon State pitching this year, it has been absolutely fantastic. A team ERA of 3.29 coming into the national tournament, second only to UCLA. Ground ball left side. The shortstop is Tyler Inge, son of a big leaguer, Brandon Inge. And the Cloud has retired one down. 7 pitchers on the pitching staff for Mitch Canham have ERAs under 3. And we're at an age in college baseball, David Artsma, that you generally don't see a lot of ERAs under 4.
No. And that speaks a lot to what they've done, their development, everything they do at Oregon State. I know last year they built a brand new pitching lab and development lab center up here in Corvallis, and so they've done an incredible job of developing pitchers over time. But you really see them now, and even with Dax Whitley being out, their number 1 ace, they've developed pitching in-house, and they've gotten better and better and better. And we're seeing, you know, Ethan Kleinschmidt improve over the years he's been here at Oregon State. Now you're seeing Wyatt Queen, the first pitcher out of the bullpen for Oregon State, come out and just be on it. And it's incredible what they've done as far as the pitching staff.
One out for Kyler Northrup, who's 0 for 2. Washington State shortstop. You alluded to the All-American Dax Whitley. Out for the year with an elbow injury. It happened a little over a month ago. Big blow to this team, but if there's ever a year where a pitching staff can afford to lose their Friday night ace, it's Oregon State in 2026. And you saw Whitney with that right elbow injury. Northrup goes down. Second strikeout for Wyatt Queen. 2 away for Trevor Smith.
Great pitching here by Wyatt Queen, getting ahead and then being able to throw his slider right below the zone, slider curveball right below the zone. Really good movement on it, and you see why he's so hard to hit. You know, low 90s, you know, mid 90s fastball, and then off speed like that. It is tough as a hitter to know what's coming, to be comfortable at the plate.
Trevor Smith tries to bunt with 2 outs. Bunting has been a challenge for the Cougars, whether it be trying to bunt for a hit or just to sacrifice runners over today.
I think that's
with a walk for Smith.
That's a 3rd or 4th different hitter from Washington State we've seen try to lay down a bunt.
The shift is on for this Oregon State defense, which is also one of the best in the country, a .985 fielding percentage. Ironically, one of the runs that Washington State has scored today came via an error. Throwing error by Jacob Galloway, the catcher, back in the 4th inning. Two balls and a strike to Trevor Smith. Did that hit him? Did that hit him? There's some question as to whether that hit him, and I guess he did get hit. Trevor Smith going down to first base. Remember, Kleinschmidt, the starter for the Beavers, hit 3 Cougars before he left last inning. And now Wyatt Queen is aboard on a hit by pitch with 2 outs in the 7th.
Yeah, Trevor Smith showing a couple bunts here in a row, and they're trying to go in. Wyatt Queen trying to go in on him, and it hits him right in the knee, right in the foot. And it does hit him, there's no doubt about it. No little discussion here with the fans. They didn't like it, but that ball clearly hitting him in the foot.
Gavin Roy at the plate, fouls it back. So a chance for the Cougars with 2 outs and a man on. And their number 2 hitter, Gavin Roy.
Not too often do you see a team get hit more than they have hit. But this is the type of team that's okay with it. They're comfortable with it. They don't need base hits, doubles to score runs. They will figure out a way. Even if we're doing a little hit by pitch, they'll figure out a way to score.
Gavin Roy grew up playing hockey in his native Ontario. Now Washington State's captain and leading hitter on the baseball diamond.
If you grew up with the last name Roy playing hockey, don't you have to, by law, call Waugh?
To have it pronounced Waugh?
Gavin Waugh.
He's from Sudbury, Ontario. First team All Mountain West. Had a great Mountain West Conference tournament. He was the MVP. Hit .444 with a homer and 7 runs batted in last week.
Coach Cho talked about him being the spark plug of this team, plays the inside game well, and that means that he'll take a little ground ball, bunt, do everything he can to get guys over, get them on. See him trying to bunt there again.
Trying to bunt with 2 outs, and now it's 0-2 on Gavin Roy. Did not offer. 1-2.
Don't change the strike zone just because he's 5'4". Hunt now.
Long set by Queen. Another throw over to the bag at first. Washington State won 7 weekend series, including 6 straight to close the season. And of course, winning the conference tournament in the Mountain West. Coming in very confident. Runner goes. A weak ground ball left side. Paul Vasquez vacuums it up, throws across for the out. And the inning is over. As the Cougars strand another one here in the 7th. We played 6.5. Still tied at 2.
Welcome to Squeeze Play. All the highlights, all the big moments.
You got a chance to have some big-time fireworks.
6 to 8 games on the screen at one time.
You're going to be locked in for that.
The season on the line.
Hashtag Squeeze Play. Send us some tweets. Maybe we'll put you on the social wall.
The storybook season will continue.
Squeeze Play. I mean, I absolutely love that channel. Watching it earlier today, Rooney and Burke are in heaven. Matt Schick, Chris Budden, the hosts, doing a great job again this year. Ground ball here off the bat of Jacob Galloway to start the Beavers' 7th inning. And he is thrown out as Nick Lewis, the starter for the Washington State Cougars. The left-handed ace has been excellent today. 2 earned runs, 5 hits through 6 1/3.
Absolutely wonderful, mixing up his pitches. Again, he's not going to blow you away. He's going to give you Tom Glav and Jamie Moyer feel, and he is doing that without a doubt. No strikeouts in 6 1/3 innings. I don't think how many times I've seen that in baseball nowadays.
But he hasn't walked anybody either.
No, he hasn't. Just a couple doubles. They're giving up 5 hits, 4 doubles, and 1 single, and mixing them up and pitching around it, and Oregon State not getting in their normal flow.
This is the big first baseman, Jacob Craig. 1 for 2 with a double to lead off the 5th and a run scored. So you saw Nick Lewis pretty well his last time up. Slices this one foul. Now Nick Lewis went 6+ innings in 7 of his Mountain West Conference starts, and here he is again pitching deep. He did not pitch against Oregon State when they met back in April. So the Beavers seen him for the first time, and they've struggled at times against him. Yeah, they've had the extra base hits, but Lewis has managed the traffic behind him well. Very, very well. He's not letting Oregon State getting into flow, getting into more trouble than what he's done. Now this is hammered deep to left, has a chance. Robinson on the track, reaches up and makes the catch. Jacob Craig, who's had a tough year at the plate for Oregon State, nearly gave the Beavers the lead. As it happens, it's the second out here in the 7th.
Craig with all the power in the world, but Lewis getting this ball a little bit in on him and not letting Craig get his hands out, get the barrel of that. If that's on the barrel, it's gone. But that was a little bit inside, got the ball in the air a little bit too much, and it's a long, long out.
Mitch Canham going with a hunch. He hadn't started Craig since March 21st. Put him in the lineup today at first base. And he's had some good swings on some pitches from Nick Lewis today. As Tyler Inge, the 9-hole hitter for the Beavers, comes up with 2 outs.
Yeah, the move putting Craig in the lineup has paid off for sure. Almost with a home right there. The double in that left center gap.
Inge pops it up. Hartman called off, and Trevor Smith makes the catch for the 3rd out. Nick Lewis, a 1-2-3-7. It stays tied in Eugene, day 1 of the regional. Welcome back to the NCAA Baseball Regionals here in Eugene, presented by Capital One. The rain started about 2 innings ago, and it hasn't let up. The NCAA Regionals coverage for all 16 sites continuing tomorrow on ESPN Plus and the ESPN app. For more information on all the NCAA championships, go to ncaa.com. Rain doesn't seem to bother most of the fans here. They're enjoying themselves. Cougars fans, Beavers fans, a lot of Ducks fans getting ready for our 2nd game between Yale and Oregon. Air is damp, the wind is blowing out as the Cougars come to the plate here in the 8th inning. It'll be Max Hartman, Matt Priest, and Dustin Robinson. And that got the umpire. Kevin Sweeney on a ball that was spiked by Wyatt Queen took it off the shoulder.
There's nothing worse than hitting the umpire and then him walking all the way to the mound. You just feel so bad. You see it spiking straight into the ground, hitting him and taking the nice long walk out there, probably biting his teeth too. Doesn't want to say anything to the pitcher.
Now the ball is wet, most likely. I believe that had something to do with it.
Well, slider down 2, and I guarantee you, facing Hartman, the 3-hole hitter, huge piece, the most dynamic player in this lineup. You know, Queen is not wanting to let that slider stay over the plate, so he is trying to bury it, trying to get a swing and miss. Overthrew it.
Good off-speed pitch for strike 1. 2-1 to Hartman. Struck out his first time against Kleinschmidt, then was hit by a pitch and scored on a throwing error in the 4th. Bloop single before Kleinschmidt left in the 6th inning. In fact, the first hit against Kleinschmidt, he took a no-hitter into the 6th. Ethan Kleinschmidt, you know, he's not going to get the win in this ballgame. And it was an excellent effort. Goes 5 2/3, 9 strikeouts.
Really dominated Washington State basically all game. Yes, he had a couple hit by pitches, the 9 punch-outs, but he really kept Washington State uncomfortable.
Ground ball, and that's going to get through on the right side for Max Hartman. Second hit for Max. Leadoff man is on for Washington State in the 8th inning.
Washington State, the key with them in this entire game, their offense depends on being able to get this guy to second base, get him over, cause some havoc with bunts, hit and runs. They have not done it all game. They've not been able to execute it really once today in this game against Oregon State. If they're going to win this game, it's going to be on executing those balls. If they keep failing, they might find themselves behind really quickly.
Good block by Galloway. Matt Priest drove in. Tying run in the 6th inning for Washington State with an RBI single. He's been on twice. Cougars have had the leadoff hitter on in 4 of 8 innings now. Popped up. That's going to drift out of play for Matt Priest. Redshirt freshman from San Diego, USC transfer. Had a great conference year. He's in the cleanup spot again today for the Cougars. Cougars knew that runs were going to come at a premium here against this pitching staff. And Oregon State, they had to know that they had their hands full with Nick Lewis, the left-handed starter for Washington State, who has been good through 7 innings.
Called him on the check. Good pitch down and away. One thing,
2 strikes to Priest.
One thing with Priest, last at bat, we saw him get behind 0-2 in the count and then fight, end up getting a base hit.
Runner goes, and that is smacked into left field, base hit. Not slowing down is Hartman. Ball is cut off as he slides into third base. Runners at the corners for the Cougars and nobody out here in the 8th inning.
Second time in a row coming up with 2 strikes. That's how you don't give away a bat. You get to 2 strikes, so what? That's the type of offense this entire team is. They don't care if they get behind. They're going to fight and grind through a bat. One of the things is Priest is a grinder. He's a fighter, and again, right there, you get the runner going. It's almost like a hit and run with 2 strikes to get the runner going. Base hit, and he does not stop. Hartman never slowed down going into third base.
There's the 4th hit for Washington State, but for the 2nd time today, they come back-to-back. A little conversation on the mound. The infielder's in. As the bullpen starts to mill around again for Oregon State. Wyatt Queen, an inning and a third. Just the 2 hits, has a couple of strikeouts. That strikeout to end the 6th inning when he first came on in relief of Ethan Kleinschmidt was probably his biggest out so far today. Now trying to get out of his own jam. As Rich Dorman, the pitching coach, has come to the top step. It's in the dirt. Jacob Galloway's seen some balls spiked here out of the hand of Wyatt Queen. You know, written a lot of this off to the precipitation. Still a light mist coming down here in Eugene, Oregon. 2-0. Two-0 pitch. Inside, 3-0.
Good at bat by Robinson, really working this count. Don't forget, this Washington State offense can swing the bat. We haven't really seen it tonight or today, but they can hit with anybody.
There's a strike to Robinson. On deck is Ryan Schansby, the Cougars' leader in homers and runs batted in. Three-one pitch. And now full count as Queen battles back. Max Hartman at third, Matt Priest at first. Back-to-back hits for the Cougars here in the 8th. He scored 1 run in the 4th, tied it in the 6th. First NCAA tournament appearance in 16 years for the guys from the Palouse. Chop foul. And that got a piece of Robinson and hobbled him into bed.
If I'm Wyatt Queen and I've got 2 strikes on Robinson, I'm looking for a strikeout. Robinson had 62 strikeouts so the year, struck out last at bat. I'm trying to get a strikeout. I'm okay with a walk here. Yes, it loads the bases, it gives me more force outs, but I'm trying to go for a strikeout.
Good battle here.
I don't want him to put the ball in play right now. I'm not sacrificing 2 outs for a run. I don't want that runner from third base getting home. So here you're looking for strikeouts, and then the next batter is where you're trying to get that double play out.
Line drive, that's a fair ball. Pass Craig into right field. Rattles around in the corner. 1 run is in. That is all they'll get. RBI double Dustin Robinson, and Washington State has its first lead today.
Great job of 2-strike hitting by Robinson. He got ahead of the count, then got back down to 2 strikes, and he did not miss with this fastball, the curveball down the line, right past the diving Craig. Great job of hitting, executing. This first time we've really seen them execute multiple times in a row here today.
Dustin Robinson, the JUCO transfer, 26th run batted in this season, and undoubtedly the biggest of his campaign. Rich Dorman, the pitching coach, out again as the Beavers will make a change here in Eugene. Cougars have their first lead of the day. Washington State did not have a hit through 5 innings. But they have the lead now after 3 straight hits here in the 8th. That RBI double by Dustin Robinson, who's on your screen, has given the Cougars the lead here 3-2 for the first time they're playing from in front. As the rain continues to mist down here in Eugene, Oregon, it's been a problem at times on the mound, and they're coming out to treat it again. Albert Robles has taken his warm-up pitches for Oregon State. You can't miss him.
No.
Great head of hair, the senior making his 23rd appearance. He has been outstanding, second in the country with 14 saves this year.
Mitch Canham was talking about his hair and his mustache and how much he loves it. He has come in and just dominated. 14 saves, second in the country, 1.67 ERA. Just really done a wonderful job of pitching and dominating in that closer role. It is not an easy job, but it's a job every single really good team needs.
Now they're going to give Robles a couple more pitches now since they've treated the approach. And you're a former closer, pitched a long time in the big leagues and closed for several years, including with the Mariners. Is there a difference now for Robles? He comes in the 8th inning in a situation that's not a save situation, obviously. Is there a different mindset that he has to have now from the one that he's been used to most of the year?
The mindset of this situation does change it a little bit because you're coming in with second and third, no outs. You can't give up a fly ball. You can't give up a base hit. You are, again, I was talking about this with Wyatt Queen, you're looking for punch outs. Where normally when you're coming into save situations, you just want 3 outs. You're trying to get the job done. Right now, I am trying to make the hitters, Washington State hitters, swing and miss the ball. So that is my #1 job. I'm okay with putting a runner on first base. I need strikeouts. I need strikeouts fast.
Just saw Mason Perillo come in. He's going to pinch run. And now they are going to load the bases. Ryan Shonsby, the home run leader for Washington State, the RBI leader for the Cougars, intentionally walked. To set up the double play situation. And Ollie Obenauer has had a tough day at the plate for the Cougars. He's 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. Struck out twice against Ethan Kleinschmidt and once against Wyatt Queen. Bases full of Cougars, 3-2 Washington State. And Robles, his first offering. Strike on the outside corner. Opponents hitting just 181 against Albert Robles. Just missed.
One of the things you see from Robles, really high arm slot, and he has an incredible amount of run and spin on his fastball. So you see a lot of fastballs at the top of the zone, curveball sliders below it.
Strike on the inside corner, 1-2. Washington State trying to deliver the big hit. 2 for 8 today with runners in scoring position.
Robles has almost 24 inches of induced vertical break, which means at the top of the zone, his fastball will ride up above bats.
Did he go? No. An appeal to the first base umpire, Ryan Broussard. Robles thought he had strike 3 here. I think that's a good call.
Good call by the umpire.
2-2. Struck him out. And that's what Robles does so often when an inning feels out of control for the Beavers. Robles throws open the door of the bullpen and comes out and immediately takes control.
Without a doubt, 48 strikeouts now in the year, 27 innings pitched. That's why you bring him in this type of situation. I don't care if you're the closer, if you're a middle reliever. If you got strikeout stuff, you come in with this type of situation, you get that first strikeout.
Washington State is going to pinch hit for Cam McLeod, the catcher. Dane Chavez is going to bat for McLeod here in the 8-hole. McLeod struggled in his 3 plate appearances with a couple of strikeouts. You see the numbers for Chavez.
So now defensively, what you do with Oregon State, you bring the corners in, you let those middle infielders be back so they can play double play depth, but you bring the corners in so in case a ball is hit to one of them, you get the out at home.
Yeah. 1-1.
Wow, that's nasty. He looks like he's going to fall off to the first base dugout, and then all of a sudden he is coming at you with all hair and fastball.
Mitch Canham doesn't want him to cut his hair. He says that's how he hides the ball. The 1-1.
Call him Samson.
It's 2-1.
It's all of his power. That's who he is, the hair.
He was at UNLV in 2024, at Long Beach State last year. Now, key part of the Oregon State bullpen. 2-1 pitch, fouled off. 2-2 to Chavez. The pinch hitter here in the 8th inning for Washington State. The Cougars have taken the lead for the first time. 3 straight hits in the inning against Wyatt Queen.
Look for Chavez to do anything he can to get the ball in play. The only thing he has to be careful of is not putting it right up the middle for an easy double play, letting Oregon State get out of the inning.
1 out, bases loaded. Off-speed pitch, got him looking. Big breaking ball, 12-6.
Nasty.
2 away.
Coming right out of the same arm slot, and when you have that great ride like Robles has, and with that high arm slot, you throw it on the same plane, the same tunnel. It's an almost immediate take by a hitter. Nothing you can do with that flow. God, the flow.
And now 2 down for Kyler Northrup. Struck out his last time up against Queen. He is 0 for 3. Swings at the first pitch. Popped up on the infield. Paul Vasquez calling for it. And Washington State leaves him loaded. Robles comes in and limits the damage. Cougars take the lead. But Robles gets the momentum back to the Beavers as they come back to the plate in the 8th. The NCAA Baseball Regionals are presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? Beautiful scenery here outside of Eugene, Oregon. Alongside David Aartsma, I'm Clay Matvick. So far, it has been a wet but fantastic day one here in Eugene, as Washington State leads it now 3-2 in the bottom of the 8th. Looking for a first-round upset here of Oregon State, higher seed. And if they do pull it off, it'll be because Nick Lewis led them to a victory. The lefty starter. 7 innings, 2 earned runs allowed on 5 hits. Hasn't walked anybody, no strikeouts, but in a way he has been done.
Who needs strikeouts, man? Robles, I guess Robles likes strikeouts and Kleinschmidt likes strikeouts, but he is absolutely dominating, pitching wonderful, 77 pitches, and just keeping Oregon State off being comfortable.
Top of the order, Easton Talt, A.J. Singer, and Ethan Porter for Oregon State. Since the start of the 4th, Lewis has only allowed 1 run and just 2 base runners.
We gotta get somebody up and moving around. 85, I threw this in high school.
And that's the thing Nick Lewis has done all day. Got behind too low here to the leadoff hitter Talt, and immediately threw a strike. Came right back, and that's how you pitch into the 8th inning.
Cam McLeod was pinch hit for last inning, so a new catcher, Noah Thine, for Washington State. Called strike 3. Easton Talt goes down looking.
What a time for your first strikeout. Perfectly executed fastball down and away. Hit the corner. You cannot script a better pitch than that. Perfect.
One out for A.J. Singer, who's quickly behind in the count to Nick Lewis. Nick Lewis, the first conference pitcher of the year in program history at Washington State. As Singer puts a charge into it. Going back is Trevor Smith. It's over his head. And Singer is standing up at second base. 1 out double for the Beavers' second baseman.
Wake the crowd up a little bit. You know, one thing you want to do as an offense, when you go out there, you give up a run, you want to get on that board, you want to try to match them, and especially in a game like this, you can't wait. Took a curveball down and drove it over the center fielder. That is not easy.
No shock that A.J. Singer gets something going here in the 8th. This guy has been so good in the national tournament. As Ethan Porter comes up. Last year, Singer homered against TCU in the regional, had that 10th inning game-winning hit in the Supers against Florida State. 1 out double. He represents the tying run here in the 8th inning against Washington State. Porter looks at a strike in the outside corner. It's 1-1. Porter a double in the 3rd inning. One of the 5 doubles now for Oregon State.
Nightmare, 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 nightmare. Let's go, EP.
It's outside, 3-1. And Josh Proctor, the cleanup hitter, is on deck. Tell you, Ethan Porter, what a true freshman season he has had. 311 hitter. Has really gotten hot at the right time. He has a hitter's count. Off speed in there for a strike. It's full.
Of course, Nick Lewis not making it easy for anybody. Oregon State, that whole bench hoping for a walk right here, hoping for a free bag, and they're not giving it to him.
So now 90 pitches into his day. The bullpen active for Washington State. Ground ball to second. And Gavin Roy will throw to first. Porter is retired. Singer will take third. But now 2 down for Josh Proctor.
Good job by the second baseman, really getting below that ball, securing it. You see, he didn't want that ball to get by him at all. He was going to knock that ball down, get the out.
Now this is going to be the end. Nick Lewis. August Ritchie, the transfer from Virginia, has been warming up. What a day it's been for Nick Lewis.
What a day indeed. He has been pitching outstanding. Oregon State has not been comfortable at all. Yes, he's gotten guys on base. He's mixed in those doubles, mixed in a couple of hits, but he has really done a wonderful job to pitch.
How about Nick Lewis? I don't know if Nathan Choate came out there intending to make a move and Lewis just talked him out of it, or if it was just a reset all along for the head coach. But boy, you can't argue with the numbers today for the sophomore left-hander.
Hey, you know what? When you go down swinging with your best man up there. Nick Lewis has been the best pitcher in this entire staff all year, the best pitcher in the conference all year, and the way he is throwing today, there's no doubt in my mind. If I was Nathan Choate, I'd be making the same decision. That's actually kind of funny. Nathan Lewis getting a couple extra pitches there. They're a little illegally getting a couple extra pitches. But I would be sticking with him too. He is your best fighter in this that you've got right now. And he's done an amazing job. He's gotten you here. Let's see if he can bring you home.
2 outs, man at third for Josh Proctor, who homered in the last 2 games of the regular season against Air Force, coming off a 4 RBI game in the series finale. Takes one upstairs. Proctor had a 3-for-3 game with a homer against Washington State back on April the 6th. 0-for-3 today. Big swing and a foul.
Let's go, JP. It's 82.
This fastball up and in. Gets Proctor really in there, uncomfortable, and then he goes change-up away. And he's done an incredible job all day of mixing up his pitches, but he said at the very beginning he will be pitching in, and he showed it that first pitch.
1-1 to the freshman. Fly ball to right. Max Hartman coming in. He's under it. He's got it. Nick Lewis gets through the 8th. Cougars still have the lead intact. We go to the 9th in Eugene. Cougars leading it by 1. Clash in Italy hits this Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern. Catch the first hour live on ESPN and stream the entire event on the ESPN app. That ESPN Unlimited plan. Pretty good clash here former Pac-12 rivals. Will be Pac-12 rivals again next year. Washington State, Oregon State, day one of the Eugene Regional. 3 runs on the board for Washington State. Will it hold up? As it's 3-2 going to the 9th. Cougars looking for insurance. Alongside David Ardsma, Clay Matvick. Albert Robles came on in relief last inning for the Beavers. A couple of big strikeouts as Washington State got one in the 8th, but they left the bases loaded. This is Trevor Smith, the leadoff man. 0 for 2 today. 2 strikes the count. Is 1 run going to be enough, David? In your heart of hearts, do you think a 3-2 final is what's in store today?
I think Washington State is going to want to score a lot more, and they're going to hope 1 run is enough, but there's going to be a point where Oregon State breaks out. And now it has to be in the 9th inning. But they have the bats. They've got too much going on to be able to sit back and only end with 2 runs.
Trevor Smith strikes out. Second time he has gone down on strikes today. Strikeout for Robles. Not a save situation. One of the top relievers, top closers in the country. Just trying to hold Washington State to 3 runs. Gavin Roy at the plate now. Looking ahead to the Oregon State 9th. Adam Haight, Paul Vasquez, Jacob Galloway. The scheduled hitters 5, 6, and 7. And that's a part of the order that has been pretty successful today. 3 for 9 with a couple of doubles and a run batted in.
Base hit by Haight, Vasquez with the double, Galloway with the double. You know, the end of that lineup, that spot that's going to come up in the 9th for Oregon State has for sure. That's the spot that's given Washington State trouble. Let's see how they handle it.
2 balls and a strike to Gavin Roy. 0 for 3 today. Mountain West Conference Tournament MVP. Fouls it straight back. 2-2. Man, Robles. So much velocity on his pitches. He comes flying off that mound. He is really intimidating.
The delivery itself causes you as a hitter to be uncomfortable, causes you to not quite see it. And then what he does is he rides that fastball so hard with that spin that where you think the ball is going to be, it's just a little bit above it, and then he has so much spin on his breaking ball and his other stuff, and he comes from that high arm slot. It makes you see the ball differently than where it really is.
That missed. Full count. Beavers fans thought that was strike 3, but plate umpire Kevin Sweeney says it's 3-2.
Just a bit outside.
Full count to Washington State's captain, Gavin Roy. Missed wide. And a 1-out walk for Roy as Hartman will come up. Who's the only player in the lineup today for the Cougars with more than 1 hit. And a single in the 6th to break up Kleinschmidt's no-hitter. Also a single to start the 8th and eventually came around to score the go-ahead run for Washington State. See how aggressive Washington State is with Roy at first base.
We've seen Hartman try to lay down the bunts before, try to do hit and run before. Again, like you said, see what they're going to do to try to get him to second base.
Ball and a strike to Hartman, who got hurt last year during the season. So Mitch missed a large chunk of it. Otherwise, head coach Nathan Choate said he probably would have been drafted.
We haven't seen a straight steal from either team yet.
Swing and a miss. Took something off. And it's 1-2 to Hartman. Mason Perello is scheduled to hit next. Came on as a pinch runner last inning. Gets away from Galloway. Roy now in scoring position. Jacob Galloway has been really good blocking up balls today. That one gets behind him. Wild pitch for Albert Robles.
I don't know if there's a whole lot Galloway could have done with that ball. Ball almost halfway to home plate.
Roy at second, the 2-2 hit a ton, but foul into the parking lot.
Hartman has the ability to change this game around really quickly. I don't care whose fastball is thrown. Hartman can hit one out in any single moment here. Again, in that swing, he was looking for it.
Line drive down the line, foul again. Max Hartman, the senior from Alberta, Canada, had a 3-run homer. Drove in 4 runs in the Mountain West title game against San Diego State. Trying to deliver some insurance here in the 9th inning against Albert Robles. 3-2 Cougars. Yeah! That's upstairs. Full count. Freshman Mason Perello. He's in the on-deck circle. He has not had an at-bat yet today. Here's the 9th pitch. Called strike 3, and Hartman knew it. They'll walk back to the dugout. The second out of the inning.
When Robles' slider is on, it's almost unhittable. He's able to drop it in there right after his fastball. He's been pumping fastballs this whole bat. He had missed with the slider against Roy and walked him, but there he was able to stay close, stay on it, drop it in. Not a whole lot you can do if you're Hartman.
4th strikeout for Albert Robles. 2 away, and this is Perello. Perello came on to pinch run for Matt Priest back last inning, and he was stranded at 3rd when the Cougars left the bases loaded.
Just tell him he's handsome. Just tell him he's handsome.
One ball, no strikes. 2-0. If the Cougars can get Roy in, what a cushion that would be in a game where runs have come at a premium. To have a 2-run lead going into the bottom of the 9th, that would be huge. And now it's a 3-0 count on Perello. Strike 1. Perello not a regular in the lineup this year for Washington State. 113 at bats, however. Has a home run. 17 runs batted in. Swing and a miss. And now full count. Oregon and Yale coming up in our next game. Beavers fans coming to their feet, getting behind Albert Robles. The pitch. Outside, lost him. Second walk of the inning. And this is how the Cougars, who only have 5 hits today, have had much of their traffic. It's either been walks or hit by pitch that have had the Oregon State pitching staff up against the wall at times.
Without a doubt. We knew going into this, they said they will do everything, they will take anything they can get. They play as a team and one team, and they don't care how they score runs, how they get on base. And you're seeing them do that all day long.
Now Dustin Robinson with 2 on. Pitch inside, he missed. Robinson today is 1 for 3, had an RBI double, which right now is the difference in the game. That came back in the 8th inning. And now time is called as Rich Dorman walks out to the mound.
Robles quickly up to 36 pitches, and again getting behind another hitter. You see him just not as fine as he was last inning when he came in. A lot of times as a closer, you're coming into a really tough situation, runners on second and third. Yes, they put the bases loaded, and you get out of it. You're on this energy high. You're just pumping strikes, getting strikeouts, get that pop-up to end the inning. And then everything's let down because you're sitting in the dugout and your team doesn't score runs. So it's tough to come in pitch after that.
ESPN, the home for the NCAA College Baseball Regionals. Scan the QR code below. ESPN Plus subscribers access expanded coverage with Squeeze Play. Dustin Robinson with 2 on and 2 out. Ball and a strike.
So as a pitching coach, you got to look over at a manager after a pitching meeting like that. He immediately throws a strike. You're okay. Got it. Got him locked back in.
Hey, right guy, right spot, 21. Nobody we'd rather sit down.
Robinson driving in his 26th run of the year in the 8th inning with that double. Cougars hoping it's the game-winning hit. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Struck him out. Cougars threaten, do not score in the 9th. Last chance for Oregon State. Haight, Vasquez, Galloway due up. Well, this is the 8th inning. RBI double down the line for Dustin Robinson, giving the Cougars their first lead of the day. Now can they make it hold up here in the bottom of the 9th? And a little bit of a surprise, Nick Lewis, the starting pitcher, is going to try and finish this himself. The lefty has been outstanding. And he faces Adam Haight to start the 9th. Be followed by Vasquez and Galloway. The sophomore from Corona, California, Mountain West Conference Pitcher of the Year. The 1-1. And now it's 1-2. There is a new left fielder for the Cougars. Cole Waterston is in as a defensive replacement. Hit to short. Northrup. One down. Pitches now for Nick Lewis. Again, he did not face Oregon State during the regular year. Those 2 games back in April. The Beavers seeing him for the first time this season, and I got to believe they're impressed. Ground ball, that's fair. Obenauer, throw, in time, got it.
Wow.
And now the Beavers down to their last up.
In the conference tournament, Nick Lewis went 8 2/3 with 1 unearned run, 11 strikeouts against Air Force. Right now he has matched that in 8 2/3. Incredible job.
And now they are going to look at this again. The call on the field was out, and boy, that's going to be hard to overturn. Big stretch there by Ryan Shonsby, the first baseman.
Obenauer with really good play coming in, making a strong throw to first base. Yes, they're going to look at it. Might have beaten it, might not have. But incredible job by Obenauer. And really, you got to give Nick Lewis a credit for what he's done. As you see the throw here, Nick Lewis has just been everything for Washington State.
Quick review. 2 down. If Washington State can hang on and get this win, it will be the Cougars' 11th come-from-behind win this season. Nathan Choate, the head coach, telling us, my guys are gritty. There are no stars on this team. We've had star-like performances from time to time, but this is a blue-collar bunch. My guys can take a punch, and character carries the day more often than not, and they are 1 out away from getting past Oregon State in this Eugene Regional. Ground ball, foul outside at first.
They might not have any stars, but Nick Lewis is pitching like an ace right now.
Jacob Galloway, an RBI double back in the second inning.
Every time I see a ground ball to first, I just want to yell, get over. It's innate in my brain.
Cougars fans watching their team in the national tournament for the first time in 16 years. The 0-2 pitch. Downstairs. The lefty comes home. Could end the ball game. Short center field. Smith running in, and he's got it. A 1-2-3 for Nick Lewis. A complete game beauty for his 10th win of the season. Looking every bit like the Mountain with an upset here on day one of the Eugene Regional.
Incredible job by Nick Lewis, incredible job by Washington State. You saw them early on, getting some guys on, getting in a little trouble, scoring some runs, some opportunistic runs. But Nick Lewis, incredible job pitching.
Let's take a look at our Capital One rewarding performance. Nick Lewis, 2 earned runs, scattered 6 hits, threw on 9 innings. Just 1 strikeout, but he did not walk 1 single Oregon State Beaver today.
Didn't put him on free, and that's when you're doing that as a pitcher, you are going to have a great day.
So now Washington State will wait and see what happens later today in our second game here in Eugene, as the host Oregon Ducks will take the field against the Ivy League champs, the Yale Bulldogs. You know, that guy had a nice outing too. Ethan Kleinschmidt went 5 2/3, hit a no-hitter into the 6th. But it was a pitcher's duel, and the duel is won by Nick Lewis, the lefty, with his 10th win. First Cougar to win 10 games in a season since 2000. What a ball game. Cougars win at 3-2 here in Eugene. For David Aertsma and our entire crew, I'm Clay Mathick. We now send you to Squeeze Plug. Against a very potent lineup.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I felt like I was pretty good from the jump there.